I'm a young leader. When I took a class, I was 25. I was a manager at that point. I don't have my degree. For me, it was a big insecurity. But little things like this chipped away at that insecurity where I was like, actually, not only do I know what we're going to talk about, I have an agenda telling you I know what we're going to talk about.
Welcome back to another episode of Miss Melodie's Learning Bytes. Excited to talk to a true healthcare professional that went through one of our programs. And as you know, in the healthcare industry, it is very turbulent, always on, lots of hours. And yet Monique stuck through her program and completed and has a little bit of success, I think she wants to share with us. So Miss Melodie, you want to invite Monique onto the show?
Monique, I'm so glad to see you again. We had such a good time in class, and I'm excited to be able to share your story with other people and learn more about you too. So I know that when you came to me, you did work in the healthcare industry, and that's a 24/7 job. Could you share a little bit with our listeners about why you ended up in the class, because you had a job?
I am in home care services. I work with seniors and elder adults. I now run the department that coordinates all in-home care services. I oversee about 8 direct reports and a caregiver roster just under 250. And it really is, like mentioned earlier, a 24/7 job. But when choosing to go back to school, it definitely came from a need where I'm a young leader. When I took a class, I was 25. I was a manager at that point, and I wasn't quite able to keep up. I don't have my degree, and that's something that I think I've allowed to weigh on me. Just not having that to support and really make me official in what I'm doing. But I found your class and just so many boxes were checked for me. And then I think after the first session, I was like, this is it. This is where I need to be. These are totally the right people.
I'm glad to hear that your first day you were like, yes, I'm in the right place, because a lot of people are very overwhelmed, but because you had a job, you immediately were drawing connections as to, that's how I'm supposed to do this, rather than on the job figuring it out. Can you think of anything specific that was a light bulb moment for you that maybe helped make you more efficient, or helped you immediately apply a skill that helped save you time?
Just one, I don't know if I can do that, but there were just so many little, we'll call them checkpoints, maybe not light bulb moments, but checkpoints where I was like, okay, I know immediately I'm going to use this tomorrow. I know what kind of data I need to pull. I'm going to pull a report. I'm going to figure out where I'm hitting my target, where I'm not hitting it, and I'm going to identify a solution, and I'm going to put this into effect. I know, and there was little things too, like when we were doing the word section and you showed us how to do the borders, but then you could do them like animated. And the next day I said, guys, we have, let's say 30 opens. I have an animated motivational thing for you this morning, and I'm going to send it out, and we're going to make this happen. And I think I just felt so much more confident about it. I knew how to send the data, which I already kind of knew how to use, but now there was just a level of polish to everything that I put out. There was another moment where you showed us how to use a formula in Excel. I was like, oh my God, that's how they do it so quickly. I'm saving time now, and I know how to do it on my own, and I don't have to panic because it doesn't immediately make sense. But so many little checkpoints where I was like, yes, I'm getting better. I know how to do this. I'm not only better for myself, I'm better for my team, which means I'm better for the field staff and the clients.
Yeah, there's so many little tiny, even a keystroke or something to be able to, it's like, oh, that's so much faster than the way I was doing it. So I remember you sending me an email saying that you created an agenda.
So many moments like that. And it might not be something others experience, but for me, it was a big insecurity where I knew I had the tool belt to be there, but I didn't quite feel like I had the credentials to support where I was in the company. But little things like this chipped away at that insecurity where I was like, actually, not only do I know what we're going to talk about, I have an agenda telling you I know what we're going to talk about.
Now, we also dealt with some soft skills classes, and I know the computer, most people think that all we do is computers. But we had 3 weeks of soft skills classes where we talked about some communication techniques, time management.
We talked about email etiquette, and you asked us a couple times, you presented a situation for us to respond to, and I added like a lot of fluff. I was like, if you could possibly, maybe, please. And I don't even think it was you that corrected it. I think it might have been David or another teammate. And he was like, too much fluff. We don't need all of this. Tell them what you want, explain to them why you need it, and then go from there. And that has complete, and I think I feared being too aggressive, but they're like, no, you're a leader now. You need to be clear and direct. And that this is what your team needs from you. And those are things I still practice today.
While you were in my class, you had a position, but your position has changed too, correct? As a result of some of your skills?
It absolutely has. I think we were 2 months in when it changed, in fact, where I'm now a department head. And I do a lot of different things, much to the same skill set, but because my big picture understanding has expanded and changed, now I am involved in more of the big picture planning. And I sit down with other department leaders and we talk about how we continue to move the company forward. And I thought about the journey that I've had in my career because of the class. And I went in, when I started your class, I was a manager who felt like I kind of earned my seat at the table, but that was it. Like, I was just happy to be there very much. And then by the time I'm done with your class, I felt like I truly had earned my seat, understood the impact of it, was able to make people around me better because I understood things better, and was able to contribute more. I think, and that was a huge change.
That's a mental change.
Yeah.
Because people look at you different in the office when you have the solutions to their computer problems, other than you're always asking questions. And you become the go-to person that says, hey, Monique, how did you create that agenda? That was really cool. So you're 26 now, you don't have your degree, but you're a department head. That's a huge success story. And it's an encouragement to people who feel like, I can't go to college, but I need to do something.
I was curious, why did you stick with the program with everything that you have going on? What really drove you to, keep going, to keep learning? Because you kept learning these things along the way. I mean, anybody else might have been, okay, I've learned enough, I'm out.
I don't think Melodie would have let me, honestly. She quickly became so into my process, which was huge, and she was the support, and she'd say, don't forget, you have to do this lab, or if it's okay, you missed this class, but make sure you remember this, it's going to be on the test. I don't think anybody else in the class had a different experience. I don't remember what time our class started, but it was not unusual for people to be in 15 minutes early talking about different things they have going on, or how they used what we learned, or what they're excited to learn about today. I learned a lot from them too. People who had like military experience, or I don't remember his name, but there's someone who worked, he worked in San Diego at a base, and he's talking about, hey, if you need help with this, you call me. It was so much a team, not even a class, it was a team, and we were all in this to get better together.
What do you see as your future plans?
I am committed to being a lifelong learner. If a 3-month class can have this positive of an effect on me, I am definitely going to sign up for more and continue to take any opportunity given to me to advance myself first, because it positively impacts those around me.
That's a fabulous story, and we so appreciate your being on with us and sharing your story. I'm sure it will inspire other people. And if you've been inspired by Monique's story and you have others that you want to check out and you might like to take the class too, feel free to check us out at careerdevelopmentsolutions.com, and we would love to see another success story.